Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Joshua Schultz, and I'll be your instructor for ED 349, Language Awareness for the Critical Elementary Practitioner. And so the purpose of this short video is to give you an overview of the class, tell you a little bit about the assignments that you'll be expected to do, and some tips on how to be successful in the course. Okay, so let's get started. So the first thing you might ask is, what is this course about exactly? Well, the course objectives are identified in the syllabus, and they are, and let's unpack them a little bit. They are identifying and analyzing and incorporating the language of the learner's community to support academic language in the elementary classroom. What does that mean? The language of the learner's community to support academic language. A lot of things to unpack there. Well, this course is designed for teachers, teacher candidates, future teachers, to understand how language works, what the key fundamental parts of language are, and how we can connect that understanding of language to our students' home cultures and their community and the place that is around them, and use that information about language to connect that to place to inform our instruction and create instruction that is culturally relevant and connected to their lived experiences and understandings of the world. Okay. So as we're doing that, we're going to look at some key elements of language, particularly phonology, morphology, syntax, early writing development, the idea of multilingualism, either bi with one language or multi with multiple languages, dyslexia, which may be a particular challenge for students, and ways that we can assess and support language development. Okay. So I mentioned this idea of place-based education. That may be a familiar or a new concept to you, and either way, it's okay. Place-based education, simply put, is the process of using the local community and environment as a starting point to teach concepts in language arts, mathematics, social studies, science, and other concepts across the curriculum. Okay, so in short, you can use this in whatever subject you're teaching. In the elementary classroom, in the context, we're typically designing lessons that are supporting literacy development within the content areas. So this is one more area of expertise that you can have that will help you mindfully and intentionally connect the place with students' learning, because students learn when they connect with what they know, right? We know that we build semantic knowledge and cognitive development by connecting students to what they know. And every student, as they enter the classroom, will have an understanding of their place and their community before they entered the classroom. And as they enter a school, that's a new context and a new place, and they're going to learn more concepts, more language, use language in different ways, in academic ways. But if we can connect that to the world that's around them outside of the school, it can create some very strong experiences. So place-based education is a great opportunity in Oregon because we have multiple communities. We have rural communities, multiple diverse communities, rather. We have rural communities, we have urban communities, we have a number of different languages and language communities represented in Oregon. Primarily Spanish is the second largest after English, but we have large communities of Russian speakers and Vietnamese speakers. And it's not just about language, it's also about what's going on in the community. I think oftentimes when we talk about culture and diversity, sometimes we don't think about the culture and the diversity that is in our rural communities, for example. So this is an opportunity for us to think about that, to think reflectively about our own experiences. Where are we in those places? And how can we learn to understand where the children are coming from, what their experiences are and what their communities are? And then how can we just, in small ways, bring that into the classroom and use it to support learning? So now let me tell you a brief overview of the main assessments of this course. There's going to be a lot more details in the syllabus. And the reason that I keep this just an overview is for you to get a basic understanding of what's going on, but also I don't want to overwhelm you with details. And also, if we negotiate some kind of change in the assessment that works better for all of us, I don't want to have to re-record this whole video. So let me just give you the overview here, folks. The first assessment is a video observation, and this is an opportunity for you to see phonological instruction happening in the context of a classroom. So in this assignment, you'll conduct a video observation of a primary classroom a teacher teaching students in the area of phonology. Phonology, remember, that's a supporting the sound, the development of sound. We're going to talk a lot about phonology, phonemic awareness, etc. While watching the video, you will make annotations, fancy way of saying you'll take notes, that demonstrate you know how to identify aspects of teaching of phonological awareness. And then you write it up and share it either in a written or an oral response. Okay, so basically what it is, and there is a worksheet that will go along with this. You'll watch the video, you probably watch it a few times, you'll stop at least 4 or 5 times in the video, you'll make a note of where you're stopping and what you're observing, connected to the reading, research, and your own experiences. And then after you've done that a number of times, you'll kind of summarize it or synthesize it in a way. Okay, so that's the first assessment. It's a great opportunity for you to put into practice what you're learning by actually observing. Observing is a powerful instructional strategy in teacher education. The second way you'll be assessed in this course is through a terminology resource. So there's a lot of terms. In any field, as you're being apprenticed into a field, you learn the professional discourse that you use. That's an expectation for our teacher education program and our candidates, that they use professional terminology. And quite simply, the best way to do that is to take note of these. And then one way you learn the term, everybody can memorize a term. Nothing wrong with doing a little bit of memorization, but the most important part is connecting it to teaching and to learning. So for this case, say, for example, the accompanying visual on the slide is literally just an example of some terms. But if you were going to connect the word you were going to connect phonological awareness, for example, you would write the term. Phonological awareness is the ability to understand that there are discrete sounds and they make up words and etc. and they're connected to meaning. You make that definition, and then you're going to do that at least 20 times, because there's probably going to be 100 new terms, but you'll pick 20 that are resonating or important to you, that are new to you. And then you're going to choose just one of those terms, and you're going to demonstrate how you can how you can support students in understanding that aspect of of literacy, okay, through a place-based lesson. Okay, so you are going to just do a place-based an instructional strategy that will be in the place-based lesson. Let me go over that because that came out kind of clunky. One more time. You're going to have the terms. You will choose one term and of the 20 that you've collected, and then you'll show us really what that term looks like when it's incorporated into an instructional strategy to support students in understanding perhaps decoding or phonemes or fluency in the context of what it might look like in the context of a place-based learning lesson. Okay, so you're not doing an entire lesson, you're just doing showing us one instructional strategy and giving us kind of an overview of what that would look like if it were taking place and incorporated into a place-based lesson. There are going to be a lot more instructions on this assessment, okay? Pretty straightforward, connecting practice with the terms. Third thing, and this is kind of going to be the major big ticket item, the larger assessment. You will create a language-focused place-based learning lesson, or a place-based language learning lesson, either way. Basically, what you'll do is create an entire lesson in which I will give you the standards and the objectives that you are going to try to meet, and then you will spend your time and effort in creating a short, 30-minute lesson that has various instructional strategies that are meant to support phonology, morphology, syntax, semantics, one or more of those things within a place-based lesson. We will learn all those concepts this term, and this is our way to put it all together at the end, okay? So one thing that I'm thinking is this is going to be new for folks. Lesson planning won't be. Most folks, this will be something new, incorporating language support within a place-based lesson. So there will be opportunities for you to draft, get some feedback, and then submit it, okay? So when you submit it, you will feel very confident about what you have created. This is an opportunity for you to be innovative and creative and professional, and it's going to be great. The fourth form of assessment is basically what we would call participation or discussions. Throughout the course, you'll be asked specific discussion questions. There'll be opportunities to interact with other students. It might look different from module to module, but this is going to be your opportunity to just have a risk-free environment in which you'll share professional ideas, connect with colleagues, do that kind of learning that is not professor to student, but all across our class. I bring expertise in language literacy and culture. That is what I got my doctorate in. That's what I taught for 12 years. When I was a second grade teacher, I've taught in English language learning context. I've taught abroad in Poland and China. I've taught domestically in Boston in multicultural settings and rural settings. And so I have a lot of teaching experience. I have my national board certification, have all those wonderful things. Happy about that. But the best part of my work is being able to work with you and support you with that. So the course is set up like a typical online course. We have a series of modules, with the exception of the first week in which there are 2 modules. But the first module is a welcome, get to know you module. Partly because, of course, we want to build that community. And then second, we need to make sure that you are able to access Canvas and participate in the course. So I'll be happy to get to know you a little bit there. There'll be detailed directions in each module, and you access it typically by just clicking on the directions. You'll have, as I mentioned, discussions, and there'll also be a number of assignments that I just explained, okay? I'll give you some tips for success. Communicate with me, okay? I consider myself pretty approachable. I have high expectations. I expect you to do the work, read the syllabus, be professional in your communication with me and with your colleagues, and do so respectfully. And you always will get that from me too. I'm here to support you so you'll be the most effective teacher. Plan your time. Emergencies happen. But if you find that you're having an emergency every single week, it may not be the time to take the course because you're just not committed to it. You don't want to waste your time and your money. So think about that. But also, if you find that that's constantly happening, reach out to me and I can get you some support from the university with folks that can help support you with some of those student success efforts. The other thing is, the third thing to take note is to take note on the readings. As I mentioned, there's a lot of terminology, yes, a lot of ideas and thoughts. However you take notes is good for me. We don't have tests in this course, but doing things like journaling, noting key ideas, taking some time to investigate on the internet or YouTube or videos or teaching channel, different instructional strategies. That's how you invest in the course and you get the most out of it. Also, ask me questions above and beyond the assignment. As I mentioned, I have one of the advantages of having an experienced teacher, is to be able to ask him questions about what this looks like in the class, in practice. Happy to share that with you. Okay. Anything that you don't understand, no question ever bothers me or annoys me. So you don't have to ever apologize for asking a question, either through the discussion board or through an email. It can be about clarifying an assignment so you're successful. It can be about the content of the class. You can ask me 100 times until you understand it. It doesn't ever bother me. Good students ask questions. I think that's it. So I wish you a great term. We will be together a lot virtually. And I wish you the best. All right. Talk to you soon. Thank you for listening.